everybody! Welcome in, good morning, and happy Tuesday! Happy Tuesday, everybody. Good to see you. Oh, big stretch. Oh. Big stretches are needed this morning. Goodness gravy.
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate. As well as the stretch. Oh my gosh. Good morning, though, everybody. Good to see you. Hope y'all are doing very well today. Oh, why are the blurps behind you? Oh, wait, that's right. Hold on. Haha. Oopsies. Gotta fix that. There we go. Alright. Fix it. Alrighty, though. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see you. The reason I'm happy is I'm off work today and tomorrow. Yippee! Get a day off of work. I mean, that's awesome. Wonder what the OST playing for the stretch time is. It sounds really interesting. Isn't that for Gen 5? If I remember correctly. Isn't it a Gen 5? Hello, Danny. Welcome in. Did you added the second monitor to your throne? Yes! As you can see on my stream, there is a little thing in the corner here that tells you, hey, there's something on throne that is like highly prioritized right now. And in this case, it is my a monitor, a second monitor. So, yeah. You can check out the throne there if you want to consider, you know, donating to help bring that out. Whoa!
I hate to disappoint you, but it seems you've failed to ensnare the genuine article.
The latent line a little early, but hey, it works. Thank you for the random line. Congrats on the 125 stream streak to both Metal Spider and Grima. Holy moly, that is nuts. That is absolutely insane. Holy moly. Goodness gracious. Just walked my dog. I feel energized. Ah. Feeling energized. Get the energization. It's precisely a Kumala town in Pokemon Black and White. Ah, okay. Got it. Gotcha. But yes, if you would like to consider donating, because it is a crowdfunding thing, you can donate, I think, a minimum is 5 to the thing. If you want to donate. If you can't or don't want to, that is also completely fine. No worries. It's just there if anyone wants to support. That's it. Oh boy, hold on. What do you mean? What's up? Well, you're amazing and awesome, so no wonder a lot of us have high stream streaks. Well, I'm glad that you're, like, has checking the specs and price ratio of the monitor. Okay. Well, it doesn't need to be super big in comparison, because the one I already have is, because the one I have is already pretty big. I don't need a super big monitor for a second one, dairy one. If it's a secondary one, it's probably going to be the one that's going to have all of the, it doesn't, but it's better to be sure of the quality, and I don't know that brand. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair, I guess. If I need to change it, I will, but, you know, I'll change it, like, during the break or something. Or, no, I'll change it beforehand. But, you know, good to be sure. Dick, welcome in. 27-inch monitor is much better than a 24-inch one. A big difference after I went from one to the other. I think this one is like, I forget how big this monitor is. It's quite big though. All done with all the tests in my final school year. Nice, congrats. LG is pretty good. I have a Samsung for, I'll send a similar one to you. Okay. Okay. I may be able to fix it then relatively quickly here before we get started. So are we ready to solve more mysteries? Oh, we will be. We will be solving those mysteries. We have to figure out who murdered the CEO of KB Security. Oh no, the demons are back. Hold on. What the heck? Hold on. Just a sec. There we go. Now it shouldn't have any more problems. What was that glitching noise? I don't know. It's the demons. They are showing up. Scariest hydrate ever? Don't worry. I think it should be okay now. I think it should be alright now. I switched something around because I updated the audio drivers, but apparently that wasn't enough. So I'll just leave it the way it was. I turned it back, so hopefully it should be good. Hey, hey! Hey, there it goes. It's back to normal. Hey, hey! Yep, back to normal. Back to normal. Alright. Let's see. You'll have to send me that, and I'll put the throne link. I'll put the right one in there, so it'll... Can we call the VOD Trial of the Audio Demons? No. No, we cannot. Because we got important things to do. We got important things to do. Alright. Let's swap screens here. And let's get continuing on. Alright. Continuing on with episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. DBC, thank you for redeeming Sing Mode. What would you like to hear? Remember, it has to be a song I know, and it can only sing a part of it. Let's see. Alright, The Stolen Turnabout, Part 3, Investigation. I'll send it to you, I just need to find a link for the US. Oh, fair. Alright, we left off with Larry last time. Hi, Larry. Alright. Alright, so now we have... If I remember correctly, Larry has a secret. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Oh, absolutely. Alright. Bloom by Neckery Talkie. Bloom? I don't know if I know that one, DBZ. Feel like ever since Turnabout Big Top, the word turnabout has been in every chapter title. Oh, turnabout is in every chapter. It's an Ace Attorney thing. It's just an Ace Attorney thing. Alrighty, though. We have a secret to crack. So let's get at that. Let's crack ourselves a secret. On the night of the crime, were you working hard like you were supposed to? What? Huh? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? But didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Miss Delight? But that was, and this is... Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night, too? Never! I didn't sneak out. I'll tell you what, I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow, now that's confidence. The amount of sarcasm. What's with that drenched in the rain puppy look on your face? You have the evidence that I left my post, or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not manning his station when the murder happened was... Ah! Here we go. This is the key card to the key card to the CEO's office, right? Yeah, that's right. This key card was found inside a wallet. This wallet. You know about this, right? I've never seen it before. Liar, you hand-delivered this wallet to Miss Delight just yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. Yeah, but that was kind of pretty hard to forget there, Larry. Nick just rolling his eyes at the bed. Yeah. Good morning, Jerem. Good morning. Good to see you. Well, I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? I guess it was around 1 in the morning on the first floor of our company building. 1 o'clock in the morning? That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. Ah! Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before then. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m., then it wasn't my fault. Then it was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Because of this key card, once again. Larry, when you use this key card, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know. That key card data was already made public in the trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Boy, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time guard. Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO's office was opened with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m., the time of the murder. No way! Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Oh. Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. Yeah, no! No, I have not seen Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. I have never watched anything related to Scott Pilgrim, DBZ. Escarn, welcome in. It's good to see you. It's been a while. Hope you've been doing well. Good to see you, Kupol. All right, the night of the crime. Oh, I knew it. It's all my fault. It's my fault that the boss was killed. My fault! Larry? There was nothing I could do. I have important issues to deal with too, man. What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened. Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this. The Star Wars reference there. Yeah, my Donna called and said I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her, and he was standing there next to her.
Who was?
Her new boyfriend. It was like some horrible joke. Ooh. Yikes, Larry. You really need to get better taste in girls. Seriously. Yikes. Again. Yep. Of course. Of course, Escarn, I remember you. It's good to see you. Little busy, but I'm glad you remember me. Of course. I try to remember everybody that comes in. I'm glad to see you again. It's really good to see you. Before I knew what was going on, the guy socked me right in the kisser. Normally, I'm the one that does the punching. Isn't that right, Maya?
Yeah.
So is that why you left the security guard office? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. How can I ever make up for it, Nick? What can I do? What?
He's curled up on the floor, crying like a baby.
Oh boy. Nick! Is there anything I can do? Anything. Just name it. I'll do whatever I have to make it up for it. I swear I will. Larry.
Hey, Nick. As long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we've got?
She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him. Nick! Poor Larry. Poor Larry. This guy. This guy. Oh, man. You gotta feel bad for him, but at the same time, you're also like, dude. Poor dude. Tales of Rebirth opening? Oh gosh. Hold on, let me finish this, dialogue text, and then I will do that. I'll do that.
The buzzer in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right?
That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya.
Huh?
Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. I promise I'll come running to your rescue, just like the professional guard I am. Right. Okay, Larry. Okay.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Thanks. I try. Someone give Larry $1. My boy needs a drink. A water. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now?
Yes, please. Please tell us.
Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. Alright. So we'll learn more about that buzzer in just a second here. Turn that off, and then I will go ahead and... Oop, hold on. Didn't mean to do that one. Wait, there we go. Turn it off from here. And then the lyrics. We need, you wanted the Tales of Rebirth opening theme, correct? Oh gosh. Raw moment. Oh gosh, yeah. Let me find the lyrics so I can make sure I'm saying it right. Oh, it's not moonlight, it's good night. That's right. Alright. Okay, here we go. どんな別れなら悲しまずにいられるだろう冗談だよっていつもみたいにほどけて笑ってみせて誰にも言えずに長い夜をただ一人でどんな思い出どんな思い出いただろうああ黒い空に散りゆく星の光きっと今もどこかで微笑んでいますようにCut off. Maybe sometime I'll sing the whole thing, because this one is actually really pretty simple. So I enjoy doing that one a lot, but it's so good. Such a good theme. Alright. Oh! Why are the demons back?
No! What the heck?
I didn't... What? Really? Really? Okay, hold on. Freaking demons. Trigger fire. Where is it? There it is. Alright. Okay, that should be... Alright, there we go. Alright. What is going on? There's demons in here now? Yeah, there are demons. The Soria song didn't sound right. Huh? Oh, Saria's song. Yep. Okay, gotcha. Alright. The demon seeks revenge. Yep. The demon seeks revenge. Everything besides you's possessed. Oh gosh. Even the game? Hold on. Okay, is that better? If that's the case, it's just OBS being stupid then. Yep, okay. Good. At least it's a sound demon and not a virus. Yeah, true. Alright. Time to talk about the emergency buzzer.
I accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier.
Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh? You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Well, this is the 3rd floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the 1st floor. I thought it would be a good idea to, adopt a wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet.
Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night?
There must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right? Of course I did, and I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either.
You think you could take just one more look for me? Pretty please?
Oh, okay. I can't say no to you, Maya.
What do you think, Nick?
He's probably right. I don't think even Larry can make a mistake like that.
What is it? What's wrong?
I made a mistake! Of course. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did.
How?
It can't be. It's impossible. Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, it went off just once. In the morning, around 1 a.m.
1 a.m.? That's when the murder happened.
Really? Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be.
Buzzer record. The buzzer went off once at 1:02 a.m. on October 12th in the CEO's office.
Oh gosh. Well, Larry, you kind of messed up there, buddy. Alrighty. Let's go back to the, let's head back to here. Oh, nope, not that. Let's head back to Lordly Taylor and go back to the warehouse. See what we can learn more here. Because we pretty much gotten everything we need to out of Larry. Yada yada with this guy, indeed. This guy, it's Larry. Oh, it's you, Mr. Wright. Hey, Adrian. Miss Andrews, what's she still hanging around down here for? So, how's it going? What about the sacred urn? The urn? Oh, that. It's been taken care of already.
What do you mean, oh, that?
Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found?
Yes, it was brought in during the trial today.
Wow, really? You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Master Mask's wife that found it.
Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. Oh, it's so... She's adorable. Like I said, she grew on me a lot. Alright, Damask's identity. I just heard all about it on the news. So that detective was actually the thief all along. It looks that way right now. It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring Damas to guard the treasures. Don't blame yourself. You were just doing your job.
Hey, Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atmey again?
About 20 days ago. And when was it that mask-to-mask calling card arrived? That was about 10 days ago. So we sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard.
I guess that's it then. Detective Atmey must have really wanted the secret urn after all.
I guess so. Is that so? What? So Mask-to-Mask murdered someone as well? Well, that's how things look right now. Yes, but I thought that he was here stealing the urn at the time. Well, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything is possible.
Nick, let's get down to business already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atmey?
No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him. He claims that's the way he always operates.
That's just what he says so he can have an alibi when he commits the thefts himself.
Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Mask-to-Mask pretty well.
Sacred urn.
I'm so glad that you got your sacred urn back. Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it. Well, what is it? I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different. Really?
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews?
No, I don't know anything. Why would I? Oh! More secrets! Cyclops.
Thank you, Grima. What do you think this means, Nick?
It means the person that holds the secret to the mystery of the secret urn is our very own Miss Andrews.
Oh, she's hiding something.
I don't think we'll be able to get anything out of her right now, though. We'll just have to be patient for now. So, what do we do now?
Isn't it obvious? We should get out there and investigate the murder.
Well, first, we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located. Wait, I already did this. Wait, did I do this already? Hold on. Yes, I did. We don't need to do that again. You must be relieved we got the secret urn back, huh?
You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't and me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Ami, like it always used to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Plus the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before.
Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago, when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Ami's name into I Am.
Oh yeah!
And that repairer was one mechanically unskilled little Pearls. But still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it.
Is it possible that urn is a fake?
I'm sure Pearls will find out about that once she gets back to Karine Village.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now that I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Karine Village in a long time. So, I guess people still go to Karine Village to do their training, right?
Yep. If you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training.
So why haven't you been training lately, Maya?
Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that.
A channeling dojo? Huh. Sounds pretty serious, whatever that is.
If you're going to train, you have to be serious. Otherwise, real tragedies can happen.
Is what happened last year still bothering you? Remember what she said about channeling dojo. That'll come up again later. That murder in her village. It happened because the power of channeling was misused.
When a medium uses the Karine technique, she temporarily loses her own will.
So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse, in those cases the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. That murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you?
I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken up. That's all.
It sounds like being the
Hello
master
there.
of the Rhine is going to be a heavy responsibility.
Hello there, Vanica. Welcome in.
Yeah, that case is certainly something that, that's not gonna be, like, driven out of people's memories for a very long time. Mr. White!
Oh! Hi, Ron. Sit down there, buddy. Thank you for the stretch.
Stretch.
Mr. Delight.
Thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate.
This theme is gonna be stuck in my head.
Mr. Delight, did they finish their interrogation?
Yes, but please don't leave me alone anymore! Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you? Oh, well, you see... On the same night, the sacred urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor department store. A blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB Security to hand over some money. And then that's where the CEO, Kane Bullard, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear the whole truth. Your life depends on it. Okay. Poor guy. Whoa, relax there, Ron Midoriya. Oh my gosh.
No worries, Jerem.
Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are Master Mask? Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday?
That was a quick response.
Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating.
But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we?
Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn.
Of course not. After all, you were at KB Security at the time.
So then the person dressed up as Master Mask in this photo.
It's gotta be Detective Atmey.
Or is Atmey playing us? So that night, you didn't go to Lordly Taylor. You went to KB Security, right? Yes. I went to KB Security at the time the blackmail note said I should.
Alright. What happened next?
Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used the key card to unlock the door. That's probably when he dropped his wallet. When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there. Someone? Oh! Oh! Then suddenly, they bashed me over the head. Bam!
Was it Kane Bullard that hit you?
I don't know. The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. Oh! Disturbing imagery 101. Ugh. The dead body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body. So that's why you put it in the safe? Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it.
Okay, and what did you do after that?
Well, I got out of there for starters. I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building. So I knew how to avoid being spotted by them.
Nick, all of a sudden Mr. Delight kind of sounds like the murderer to me.
Please don't say that. Don't say that in front of him, Maya! Hey, it's Shades! What's up, Shades? Good to see ya! Can we have a shout out for Shades, please? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well today. Why you were fired? Streaming cooking simulator. Oh, how did that go?
Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KB Security?
Oh, how did you? I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please!
Don't worry, you haven't told anyone yet.
Thank goodness. No, I am. But I suppose I'll have to tell her sometime. She'll find out eventually.
Why have you been hiding it from her anyway?
Jessie would despise me if she ever found I was living the life of crime. A criminal, a thief. She'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over.
Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place?
Because Jessie spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway. So he became masked and masked for Desiree, huh? Aww! Baby! He was just trying to... He was just trying to make sure that his wife had enough money. Aww. It's really sweet. Congrats on the 3-stream streak, by the way, Shades. Very nice. Alright. Let's see what else. I believe there's something else that we have to present to Ron. If I remember correctly what it is. Oh yeah, this one. Hey! This is an article about my debut heist! Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail.
A masked mask. He must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared.
That's right. I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my masked mask costume in the nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, eh?
Wow, awesome. Hey, hold the phone! The guard in this photo. Is this you, Mr. Delight?
That's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself. Nice and easy to figure out. Even Pearls could see through that in a heartbeat.
Oh gosh.
Right, heists are overrated. Just go steal things in Minecraft. Debut heists are overrated. Just go steal things in Minecraft? Eh? Okay. But, as you might expect, Detective Atmey found a disguise. He truly deserves the title of Ace Detective. Detective Atmey found the Master Mask disguise? That's interesting. Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him. So that's it. That's when Atmey got his hands on this. Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume.
That must have been a pretty time-consuming, huh?
Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters.
Blackmail letters?
You got them starting when? Tell me now. Hey, calm down. Don't get so worked up. Ooh, investigation middle! Ah, this theme is so good! Ah! Game audio's buggy again? No! Not like that's like the worst timing, too. Oh, gosh. Alright, should be back to normal now. Alright. But this is one of my favorite investigation themes.
This blackmail letter. Is this the first one you got?
No, of course not. But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location. So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. That first letter, it said, "I know you did it."
So someone found out about your true identity? Just like that?
It's not that easy being a master thief, you know. I've got proof that it was you, so give up, it went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all the trouble to steal. Is that right? Hey, hang on a sec. What do you mean you had to give it up? Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me $10,000. No one said anything about being worried, you know. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail.
Plans?
Plans? That's not entirely true there, Dark. So do ace detectives work like ace pilot rules? You gotta crack 7 cases for the ace? I'm not entirely sure.
What are these plans you're talking about?
They were instructions on how to steal a crown, or painting, or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods.
So you mean the one who planned the heists wasn't you?
No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans for some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans.
It sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him.
So Ron Delight was mask to mask after all? But someone else is behind the thefts. Someone who planned them all out in detail. All I had to do was deposit the treasure I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail. Did you try not to look so gleeful about it?
So you went after the secret urn because of one of those plans too?
Well, see, truth is I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal. Mr. Delight, is everything you've just told me the truth? Yes, but please don't tell Desi, okay?
Ron's testimony. From Damask's second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters.
Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Yes? But please don't hurt me. Mr. Kane Bullard, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him? Yes, of course! I could never! I'm not lying! All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday.
Why?
Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I'd have an alibi, right?
I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight.
I guess I have no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word.
Missing Maya! Hey, Pearly!
Hey, Pearl's back!
Pearl's back!
Ah! How can we hurt you? You're behind glass? I know, but he's a sensitive guy. But Pearly's back!
I'm back!
Hey, Pearls. So what have you been up to this whole time?
The sacred urn, Mr. Nick. I took it back to Crime Village to have it examined. And? What did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's the real urn. Phew! That's a relief. I was really worried. But there's one small problem. Problem? These cute little pink splotches. They said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently.
Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? We've got to find out how they got there. That's the big deal. Yeah, Mr. Nick, we've got to find out how they got there.
Okay. We'll go find out how they got there. But please don't forget about me. We aren't gonna forget about you, Ron. Promise. Ron is basically Deku with red hair. Oh my gosh. I mean, the poor guy. Alright. Now, though, I think we have enough evidence that we can go talk to Adrian again and find out her secret. Basement warehouse. Oh, Pearl, how nice to see you.
Hello there.
I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, I was having this urn examined.
Oh, I see. Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here.
Nick, let's look around one more time.
All right, let's examine some stuff. This box, there's something about it that bothers me.
That's the box that the secret urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it, too. And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn.
I think I know how the paint got on it now.
All right, let's investigate again, Nick.
Urn box. A wooden box that had the sacred urn in it. Has pink paint stains on it. Can't we just paint over those splotches after the trial is over? At least make it look presentable, or does it not matter? Well, I mean, for right now, we need the paint so that we can, you know, keep it as evidence. We need to not touch it for now. All right, bye, Squid James. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay sharp. I say that paint is evidence for real, for real. Gotcha. It looks like for me it's been dry for several days.
There's something suspicious about the paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly and it's shockingly pink. Mr. Nick, could it be that this odd shape is...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is it.
Ah! That's the box the sacred urn was in!
If you look here, there's a bit of paint on the box as well.
Wow, you're right! Look, it matches! What is it, Mr. Nick?
This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. Ooh, I think it's all starting to become clear. We're that much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. All right. All right, Adrian. Time to unlock those Cyclocks. Good call, good call. Why does the pink paint remind me of something else? All right. It's time. All right, come on, Adrian. Reveal your secrets. Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn? Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit. The urn was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before. Well, that's true. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be. It could be a fake. A fake? You're the one who said it wasn't the same. So that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn was submitted at the trial was genuine? Considering that that Pearl just confirmed it was the genuine article, I think that's pretty doubtful there, Miss Andrews. Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is the genuine article. Pearls went back to Karine Village and had it examined. Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken. Again. Did you say... again? Yes. It was broken once a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened. And quite recently, too. Recently? Are you saying that this urn was broken recently? Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? Dun, 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 dun. Well, how about we take a look at the treasure exhibit poster? This poster, it was made recently, right? Poster? Ah, the poster for the exhibit. At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said "I am" on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says "Ami." When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. I am? What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken. Ooh. Oh boy. That was a mistake. Now tell the truth. Wait! 4? Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it. Huh? Yes, that's it. It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened. It looks like she's not going to give up that last psych lock so easily. Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor? Well, sorry to burst your bubble there, Adrian, but we do have proof. Well, Miss Andrews? What is this supposed to mean? There is pink paint all over this urn. And there's pink paint all over the floor and the walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can't weasel out of this one, Miss Andrews. But... Uh-oh. She's trying to make her escape. But you can't get pink... But you can't get pink paint anywhere. Well, there's none in my office, that's for sure. Well, there is in my room. Liar. Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor. There's no proof that it's the same paint. Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is... the box. It's a box. Hello, Flaminico. Welcome in. We are... Jerem, we are currently cracking Adrian Andrews' secret about the sacred urn. This box. The urn was stored in this, right? Yes, that's right. Well, there's pink paint on this box as well. Ah! I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you? Yes, more or less. The paint on the floor has an odd shape imprinted in it, doesn't it? Yes. If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken. Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright. Oh boy. Unlock successful. I'm so sorry. I was the one who broke the urn. Boy, does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher. I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Not this theme! Oh! Not this theme again! Oh! Ah!
Well, that's not so hard to understand. Is it, Pearly? No, not at all. I know just how she feels.
It happened about 2 weeks ago. Just after the poster photo was taken. On the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I'd put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box. When I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, the box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and thought my heart was going to stop. Fearing the worst, I opened the lid of the box, and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock and let out a huge scream.
I can totally see how that could have happened.
Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands. Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Karine Village. So I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shards were pretty big.
And that's when the I am got changed to Ami?
I didn't know how it was originally written, but any sane person fixing it would have assumed it as Ami.
Any sane person? Really?
Oh no, Pearly, sweetheart, no. No, you're okay, honey, you're alright, you're fine. Oh, Pearls. She said she wasn't very good at spelling. Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then. Sacred urn, broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box. Kept out of sight.
But there's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains.
Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used the golden statue to cover it. The Atmey face statue. Aha! The first time that we came down here, it was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen.
But Mr. Nick, there were no paint marks on the wall of the floor of the warehouse when we were here.
Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall.
And?
I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it.
Ah, so that's why it's there. I see. Now it makes perfect sense. But there's still one thing I find strange.
What is it, Pearl?
The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At the time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible.
Ah, my favorite theme. Ah, so good. She's right about that. Well, Miss Andrews? Huh? What? I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again?
Well, then who was it? Who would have done it and why?
What about the power of waiting?
Later, Donald. On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day it was moved. But why?
Thank you for the stretch.
Ugh. Goodness gracious.
Atmey Faye's golden statue, carried into the basement warehouse the day of the crime. Moved again that night.
It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case.
Well, why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night, the real thief, Ron Delight, was at KB Security. So why did another masked mask show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact.
One undeniable fact?
The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but it looks like that thief is going to be making another appearance. Oh, dun dun dun! All right. Not too shabby. All right. Oh boy. And we're on part 4, the trial. Boy, oh boy. Think I heard something crack? Yeah, just a little bit. Alrighty though. I'm gonna take my break real quick before we continue. Don't go anywhere, everybody. I will return shortly. BRB! Alrighty, I am back, everybody. Whoo! Okie dokie. Thank you. Also, as you can see, I switched the thing now, so it's the one that Grima sent me the link for. Yippee! Thank you. The demons are back, but now they're popping in the back, huh? What? What do you mean? Demons? How are the demons back? The demons are making popcorn? I have no idea what y'all are talking about. What in the world? No idea.
Hey, Nick!
What is it this time?
You won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door?
Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmey's trial today.
Detective Atmey?
They say they're going to try him as Mask to Mask.
Already? That was fast.
Boy, I'd love to see Mask to Mask's trial.
I know. By the way, where's Pearls?
Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore.
Huh? We were hearing bops and pops during the BRB screen. Oh, okay. I see. Is this the next Demon Slayer season XT? Yeah, who is you? No, you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since that incident last year.
Please, don't ignore me! Oh! Hi, Ron! Poor guy.
Oh, Mr. Delight! Good morning!
No one likes me. Who says? You're like the sweetest guy ever. Goodness gracious. No one would notice me even if I killed someone.
Come on, don't be silly. But, wait a second.
You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. And plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists.
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate. No worries, Dark. Gotta get those groceries.
Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick?
It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option. Why? I wonder why. Oh? It's hard to tell if Ron is Arya's husbando or if one of her babies. I consider him one of my BBs because, he's married. So, you know, I don't feel right. And he's adorable. So, you know, like, I just see him as like, oh, I want to protect him, you know, kind of thing. Rather than him actually being like like a character that I'm like, ooh, you know. Anyways. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. Ugh, he's got the judge in the palm of his hand. Yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Ah, then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well, then let me briefly summarize the details of the case. Wow. The judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullitt, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated at 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial.
Oh, remember that, Chad.
But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Ah, you got guts, Trite. All right then, Mr. Ron Delight, please take the stand. 17 is the limit. Mm-hmm. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No, that's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever.
Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making.
And once he opens his big mouth, they'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ah, very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullitt, why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened.
Alright, here goes.
That evening, at around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, he had ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up.
There's cup number 2.
Ha! It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny.
You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
The blackmail letter. Let's learn more about the blackmail letter.
Does this man have a mechanical heart?
No.
It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Ha ha ha. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do?
Obviously, we're gonna press harder.
So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? Perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. What point indeed?
Woo! Neo! Hey, welcome
Incoming raid from
Welcome
Neo
in.
Lift with 6
Good
viewers.
to see you, Neo.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the raid. Holy moly. Thank you so much.
Ha! I can't read.
Ah! Neo, how is it going? How was the stream? Good to see you. Welcome in, Raiders. For those of you who are new, my name is Aria. I'm a voiceover artist on YouTube, but I also stream over here on Twitch, as you can see. Welcome in. It is good to see you. Welcome in. Yes, it is good to see you, Neo. Went really well. We played a new gacha game today. Ooh. What were you playing? A Path to Nowhere. Ooh, I don't think I've ever heard of that. It's a gacha game? What kind of gacha game? What kind of gacha game is it? But welcome in, Raiders. Neo, and for Neo and those who have joined from the raid, if you need to head off to go take care of yourself, you gotta get some water, get some food, get some rest, do whatever you gotta do, please do so. Otherwise, if you're here to just chill with us, thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate it. Played some Goddess of Victory too, but we ended the stream with Path to Nowhere. Oh, I see. Goddess of Victory. Oh, is that Nikki, I think? Is that the game? Game audio's crackling again? Gosh dang it. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Oh, okay, so that's the game. Okay. Yay, I know kind of what I'm talking about. Okay. At least I kind of know what I'm talking about. Yay. It was really fun and the characters are super interesting. Lots of beautiful music and voice acting. Oh, absolutely. We love voice acting on this channel. Voice acting is a very good thing on this channel, so I can understand the love of voice acting very well. Luxie, welcome in. Good to see you. Go have a shout out for Luxie, please. Also, can we have we already shouted. Thank you for the shout out for Neo as well. Go check both of them out. They're both super cool. Go check them out. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, words are hard. But Neo, I gotta run, but enjoy your stream. Hope y'all have fun. Thank you so much, Neo. Thank you so much for stopping by and bringing your community over here. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you for the head pat. Oh my gosh, whoa! Another one! Oh my gosh! Oh! Triple head pads! What is happening? Oh gosh! Holy moly, that's a lot of head pads. Thank you for the triple head pad there, Luxie. Holy moly. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. But Neo, thank you once again for the raid. And if you're sticking around from Neo's raid, welcome in, and it's good to see you. Everything comes in threes. Yes, head pad times 3. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Daddy!
Axel,
Oh my gosh.
please. The name's Lee. Got it memorized?
Guys! Oh my gosh. We're gonna get... Oh my gosh. Oh no! Ah! We are gonna get... Stop the overload! Ah! Too many headbands! Oh my gosh! Holy moly! Whoa! That was a lot of head pads. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Let's... Oh my gosh. Chat, we aren't gonna be able to get anything done. We need to continue. Oh my gosh. Holy moly, that was a lot of head pads. Thank you for all the head pads though, everybody. I appreciate it. Holy... Oops. Thank you so much. Holy gosh. Holy gosh? What is... Holy moly. Anyway. Thank you, everybody. Now let us continue. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ah. A mighty mud skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. A muddy mud skipper in outer space? What the heck? You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? Perhaps a perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject? Why he was fired? Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Jessie loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby.
Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick?
My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? I forgot about that. I forgot that he did that. KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it a secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own.
What is it, Nick? You don't look so good.
Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember
What?
that.
He sure told you.
So you admit you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes. I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing has just took a big turn for the worst. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. Oh gosh. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. You sure about that? You sure about that? I think it was gonna cause you some trouble, considering your wife. Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. Ah! But listen to me! My Desi, she... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Ah, Godot! Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh. No! Everything is falling neatly into place for him. You don't talk about my Dizzy like that, or you'll be sorry! Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far.
What do you think, Nick?
I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole Dana for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. At the CEO's office. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Master Mask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Atmey turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Ah, no one's gonna believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked! We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. This is cup, 14, I believe. This is 14, I think. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Ah, 13. We're at 13? Okay. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. Wearing what, Ron? Wearing what exactly? That? Could you please clarify what you're referring to? Why, my Master Mask costume, of course. Well, wait just a moment. Master Mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Master Mask. And then I descended upon the floor of the CEO of KB Security. What?
Nick, did you know about this? He never told me about this.
I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even if I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes things just slip your mind? Ah! My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. 6 cups, guys! He's had 6 cups! This trial so far. Ha! At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. Why were you dressed up as Master Mask? Why, because I'm Master Mask, of course. What are you talking about? Master Mask's trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at the time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Master Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I would have expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body. What was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable! Uh-oh! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hid the body because he's the murderer? Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look.
His metaphor this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to your testimony. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm front is moving in over the fair weather judge.
Uh-oh.
Static demons? Oh, gosh. Alright. We're back, I think. Panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in a drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it. Ah, I think you had a simpler reason for that. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes?
What is it, Nick?
I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it?
Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick! If you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were?
That's it! I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence.
We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't we?
There's not much in this testimony either.
I bet you he's still hiding something.
I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him.
I just hope he doesn't make things any more complicated.
I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. But wait a minute. Then something doesn't make sense. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in this office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Ron Delight truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Ha! Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as the chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser, who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend, wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known. Ha! Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. Yeah, no. His buzzer is extremely loud. There is no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. Order in the court! Mr. Wright, this is... This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed King Bullard. Then who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. Ah! So King Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. But how? Can I prove that it wasn't King Bullard who sounded the buzzer? I can prove it, all right. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proved that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. There are no fingerprints. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues, it's itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Ron Delight obviously wiped them off. Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Masked and Masked. And Masked and Masked always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Good point. Order! 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 Ha! It would seem. I've been forced to eat crow.
I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer?
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the
Hydrate. Oh, goodness. Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Ah, it looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
They're on you, Nick.
Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr.
Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right?
The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Ow! My ears! Oh!
Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed.
Security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? To call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Although as it turned out, he never showed up.
Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
Ha! What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, King Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for this murder. Oh gosh. Order! 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 It would seem. I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee.
Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so...
Nick, you mean the real killer is...
We're going to drag that person in here right now.
But who is it?
I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard?
Who else?
Who else could it be other than Ace Detective Luke Atmey? Who else could it be? Detective Luke Atmey. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective Luke Atmey. You mean Master Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in court next to us is not Master Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? You're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atmey confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as well as Master Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atmey's airtight, watertight, and unassailable ally. A guilty verdict has an alibi?
Da 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 bum bum bum.
You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atmey's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Ha! A bet's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you! Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you!
Oh, Ron!
Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice. It sounds like... Mia! Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. Huh. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. October 14th, 11:58 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 5. Well, so Detective Atmey. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atmey. You were the one who... That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atmey. Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please! Well, well, Sir Lawyer. Welcome to my courtroom. Who is this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation file against this man, Luke Atmey. That accusation? You accuse Master Mask. That man is not Master Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What?
Ooh, he's sweating. He's sweating.
Ooh. Ooh, he's sweating. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
What?
Right is right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. As Setzer would say, my life's a chip in your pile. Let's save Ron. Indeed, let's do it.
My sis?
I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
So then she's still alive. Inside your heart.
Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night?
Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atmey want to kill King Bullard?
Whoops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. It's gonna happen sooner rather than later.
Boy.
That nose smells guilt. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atmey, please take the stand. Well, well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the greatest Luke Atmey has no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I've been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could have known what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Of course.
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate. Game's buggy again. Gosh, dang it. Ah. Give it a stretch as well. Very well then, Luke Atmey. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. Another cup, chat! Alright, Mr. Atmey. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Godot is a coffee wizard? Oh, absolutely. I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, no one turned out to be my witness. One turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Are you sure about that? It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atmey, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool.
I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick.
He's quoting Francisca von Karma there, apparently. The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Alright. Let's see. Are you sure about that? About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photo, didn't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. It looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious.
So this alibi is false?
It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security.
But I'm not really spotting anything unusual.
There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Stop stealing Frenzy's material, Luke. Be original! I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point? That's right. It was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am.
Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atmey was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. That's weird. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided that camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse, and this picture that was supposedly captures it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is! Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night, before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, and let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? Luke, I'm not stealing, I'm referencing his material. Completely different. Uh-huh. How about this large paint spill on the floor that wasn't visible before? The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. This stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach-colored at that. From blood to peaches. The judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Oops. This statue. The judge sometimes. Oh my gosh, yes. The judge sometimes goes on these wild tangents. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime, around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Ha! In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick?
Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
Who else could it be? Detective Luke Atmey. Who else?
Side note, Adrian with that haircut looks kind of like Riza Hawkeye from Full Metal Alchemist. Ah, I see. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atmey. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move the statue? The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Master Mask to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. Imagine if Butts was the mastermind, that'd be nuts. Yeah! If the statue had been there, your lie would have been exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does this lie exist? The timestamp. Naturally, the lie isn't the photo, is in the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atmey went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at the same time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was this statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Luke Atmey had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atmey must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atmey had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in this photo. Yeah! Ooh! Nice! Order! Order! Mr. Atmey, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? Oh, what's that? The data from the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by Lordly Taylor's staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Ah. Ah! Ha 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 ha! Order! Order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial, which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point. So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points.
So you're saying this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match? That's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. But that's very true. No way! Don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Damask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Oh boy. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and Dvari! It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. Two! Yes. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
That's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it?
Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Zvari. Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Or he has a stomach for all that coffee. Yeah. He has a heck of a stomach from his infinite magical coffee. Yep. Let's see. The urn was placed in a box and it was sent to the warehouse. How would you know that? There's a problem with that. Mr. Atmey, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that's true. But so what? Truth be told, there is no way that Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. You can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atmey should have seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Kimmyon, thank you so much. What a way to introduce yourself, but it's it's nice to meet you, Kimmyon. Thank you for choosing my stream as background noise. I hope you enjoy your lurk. Oh, goodness.
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? All right, that did it. He's broken.
Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose.
Huh? Ha! It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was masked in mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? But that's a good point. No way! Don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Atmey was the one who killed Kane Bullard? Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting a second wind.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance.
Hey, Aiden, welcome in. Oh boy, you have only 3 cups left for this trial. Luke Atmey had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate mask to mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is masked to mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy.
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that it was Mr. Bullard and was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What?
Found in Ron Delight's room. Written by Bullard.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
Let's see.
You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says bring $50,000.
And the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's.
There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere. An addressee? This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment, and Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place and time.
Wait! That's right! Yes, we are going overtime today. We're almost done, you guys. We are literally right at the end here.
The fact that there's no addressee is irrelevant.
Are you sure about that?
I wonder.
What's up, Nick?
I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight?
Whoa! Do you have any evidence of that?
For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling. But there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter.
Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied? You hear the music? It shows that we're close.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atmey?
Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right.
When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that.
Jeez, Gato! What's with the savageness? Yikes!
You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Indeed. Time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter.
Aha! Time to bring this out. It is time to bring this out.
Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Eminon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is the jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Eminon that Master Mask stole at all. And your point is, Mr. Trite, so you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else. That's what you're trying to say, right, Trite? That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that's what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing.
Ha ha ha. He 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 he.
Naturally, it was you, Detective Atmey. You have some sort of basis for that claim. You've been personally involved in every single mask-to-mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Kane Bullard wrote the letter in order to blackmail you.
Yeah. Hoo 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 hoo. Hee hee hee.
It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. I don't like the way you said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atmey. Are you for real? Yes, I am.
Nick, come on, stand up to him!
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atmey's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So what was that identity? Atmey killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
This is what it all comes down to, Nick.
Ooh, the identity that Luke Atmey wanted so desperately to keep a secret was his identity as
A blackmailer.
Luke Atmey was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atmey. Are you saying that Atmey was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit, that does sound a little odd.
It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atmey. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So, did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Eminon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person. Incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Master Mask. That is what we were claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atmey. Shh! Silence! Now I see, it's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with a tendency to jump to conclusions.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, we now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale.
And we will be getting to the judgment rather shortly here.
And thank you for the hydrate as well.
How did you?
You say that I, Luke Atmey, was blackmailing Ron Delight, in which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onwards, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime.
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise.
In that case, let's see some hot bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron Delight was Master Mask? Hee. The newspaper clipping. Because Ron was in the background.
I think I see it.
See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into a lot of mischief, trying to be the center of attention. But what do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. But tricks like that he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atmey. That's when you learned that underneath his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight.
What the? Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask?
Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Why, how dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you? How dare you even imply that one so smart as I could ever fall to such lowly depths? Why not try doing something yourselves with that big mouth of yours? Really fools. I say none of you can compare to my...
Goodness gracious.
We're having an old bag moment here. It's enough to make one laugh.
It would seem that we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atmey.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atmey.
Objection!
Wait, what? The hammer that strikes too fast. There's no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. Ding!
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite.
What are you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atmey was a filthy blackmailer, and that he was that lordly tailor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he was the one who killed Mr. Bull. But... there's still one thing you have yet to prove.
What's that?
Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove this pitiful excuse for a man was at KV security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Uh-oh.
Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atmey was at Bullard's office down that night.
But, can you really prove that?
That's long enough. Mr. Trike, I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atmey was at KV Security, and the defense...
Can't prove it.
I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But, if we hear more of the detective's testimony... Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. Well, what do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atmey is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. And face his guilty verdict as mask to mask. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delight will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Yup. Godot.
Order! Order in the court! That's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is...
Don't give up now. We still have tomorrow. We can look for even more evidence and...
By then it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. And it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atmey will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask to mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atmey's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Ah!
Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atmey, will go free. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. As long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? And I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmey.
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this was what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets.
That voice. No way!
Mia! Long time no see, Phoenix.
Mia!
Hi, Mia!
This is the true power of the Quran channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey.
Now, let's do this.
But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine.
Not yet. The testimony's not over yet.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today.
Yes, that's true, but...
Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Well now, Sir Lawyer, seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that.
Justice Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with my full force of my ace detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever.
Very well. Then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor?
Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. Oh, sir lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods would do anything to me, look at... Let's hear it. Huh? It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Luke Atmey, I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer.
So please, give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance.
Yes, Chief.
All right. Godot got a chill going up his spine. Yeah, he was... Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Sorry. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy.
His testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course.
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer. Ah! Yes, I know it's 1 o'clock.
Are you gonna make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec. Just one chance? It seems that the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix,
there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony.
So it would seem.
What do you mean, so it would seem?
Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you'll lose. That's all there is to it.
Cup number 17. The last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
All right.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. I need to point it out without presenting any evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it.
Remember, you only get one chance.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
Let's see. What could it be? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit, which is why he would have left no prints. And yet you were also wearing gloves. I thought we were at 18? Nah, this is 17. All right.
Mr. Atmey, about this last remark.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you, Trent? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What?
What?
Mr. Atmey, it seems you finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atmey? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his masked and mask outfit. Is that correct? Indeed. That's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. More like your deductions prove that you are a fool. I'm sorry. Whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as masked and masked when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry. I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right.
Hey, Marsh!
The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atmey? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom, being tried as mask to mask.
So how would you know that he was in that outfit? How would you know?
So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his master mask outfit. There was one and only one way for Detective Atmey to have found that out. Only one way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atmey.
Are you sure about that?
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Ha ha! Detective Atmey, you saw Masked and Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Take a look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atmey, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atmey tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Mask to Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan, to use the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know. You never committed any murder. That's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask! Huh? So thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia?
As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. A defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent.
Then, Master Mask is really innocent?
It would seem so. For now.
For now. Now then, this court finds the defendant not guilty!
Let's go!
Boy, this really is lucky. Waiter, hi. This isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is...
Amazing. Mission complete.
Ah! You did it, Phoenix.
Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
I'm thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate. Ah, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days.
Oh?
I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days.
You mean about becoming the master of the Quirine channeling school?
Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother.
Misty Faye, right?
Watch over her, will you, Phoenix?
Of course.
Well then, see you around.
Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened.
Come on, just be happy already.
Maya,
You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot.
but in exchange, I lost everything.
Huh? What do you mean?
Stealing security information from KB Security. Becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason. For her. You mean your wife, Desiree. She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Mask? Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together.
That's not true. Right, Nick?
Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were?
You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it.
I can? I kinda wish you would check with me first. Mr. Delight, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together.
As is the case with a very special urn that was broken several times and somehow put back together to its original state.
The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything.
There you are!
Miss Delight.
You did it, Ronnie! You're innocent! I'm so happy!
Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you?
Ronnie! Why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. I never imagined that you were really Master Mask either.
Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you?
Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast, so there's no way he could ever get away.
But didn't you say that you hated criminals?
Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them. Like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous.
Chivalrous?
I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement.
Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you?
Nicky boy,
Yes?
I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us.
Oh, well, take care of yourself.
You too, Nicky boy.
I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick, Missing Maya, congratulations!
Talk about bad timing.
There is still more to be discussed. Yes.
Oh gosh!
What transpired after the body was found, for example.
Bad
If a
timing on
witness
that.
is asked
Bad
to
timing on that.
testify, they can't refuse. That is another rule we have.
Bad timing on that. Bad timing on that, Pearl. The Edgewood line appearing at that. Okay, Ron is a sweetheart, and Desiree is understanding and supportive. Dang, what a couple goal. Absolutely. You see why I love them. They're so cute.
So just as the case came to a close, so did my consciousness. Ron said, a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before.
The end.
Alright. Episode 2 is done. And episode 3 has been added. Episode 3, a recipe for turnabout. Oh boy. Ah! We have finished case 2. Holy moly. What a case. Goodness gracious. What the? Cooking case? Maybe. Maybe. Luke is gonna hear from Kane's brother Abel sometime after this. Ooh boy. Yeah, wouldn't count on his brother being so nice. Ron and Desiree are the best couple. They are. They are. They are absolutely perfect for each other. I absolutely love them. This is why Ron as a character is such a special character. Alrighty. Whew, boy, I am tired. Alrighty, though. Thank you so much for coming in, everybody. Let us go ahead and find somebody to raid today before we head off. Not gonna lie, this has been the longest case for Phoenix, and I want to hug Ron. Oh, this has definitely not been the longest case. Rise from the Ashes is still the longest. We saved Izuku Delight. Oh my gosh. Hey, Marsh clipped it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I want to see a fan art with those two now. I want to see a fan art with Izuku and Ron. That would be fantastic to see. Alrighty though. Thank you so much for coming in, everybody, and staying over time. Let us go ahead and find somebody to raid today before we head off. Let's see, let's see. Who can we raid today? Let's see, let's see. Reliable is live. She's playing Hades 2, though, and I don't know enough about Hades 2. Lyra is live as well. Lyra is playing Persona 3 Reload. Just like Izuku taking notes while Ron talks about stuff. Yeah, that would be so cute! It'd be so cute! Alrighty, though. Okay. I guess... Yeah. Let's go raid Lyra today. We'll be raid. This is technically the second time in a row. By the way, I was wondering, were you using window or capture camera for your model today? I was using camera capture for this screen. But I was using window capture on the other ones because I hadn't gotten to change them yet. I was using camera capture on the chat and shell screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and raid Lyra's Adventure today. Just a warning, Lyra is playing Persona 3 Reload, which is a very mature game. So if you are not comfortable with mature topics, well, I mean, if you were watching my stream, I guess you should be okay with it, considering mature topics also are in this game. But either way, if you're headed over to the raid, please be prepared for mature topics. Also, if you're heading over there, type Shadeslay Raid in the chat below to show support, and follow all of her rules as you would mine. And once again, as always, have fun. Alrighty. Tomorrow there will be no stream, as I do not stream on Wednesdays. However, we will be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday for more Professor Layton and the Last Spectre. This will be the final stream for Professor Layton and the Last Spectre. So be sure to come by, you don't want to miss it. Alrighty, thank you so much for coming, everybody, and I will see you all on Thursday. Bye! Stay sharp, Shade Slayers!